Switching gears, the beauty industry is huge and is expected to get even larger, especially in China. Companies like Sephora are investing even more in the world's second largest economy. The beauty retailer just earlier this month opened its first store of the future in Shanghai. Now, McKinsey says it expects the Chinese beauty market to hit $96 billion by 2027. So which brands should investors be watching as this space grows? Joining us now on this is Linda Bolton Weiser, D.A. Davidson and Company Managing Director and Senior Analyst of Health and Beauty. So what are the beauty brands that you think are the winners?
Hi, thanks for having me. Estee Lauder is a company that has significant exposure to China. They have more than 40% of their revenue is China-based or related to China travel retail. But in terms of stock picking and performance, our top pick is E.L.F. Beauty. E.L.F. actually does not sell into the Chinese market yet. They're mostly a domestic company, but they're rapidly rising in the mass beauty color cosmetics market. So they've overtaken Revlon and CoverGirl to become number 3 in the U.S. mass beauty market. So they're experiencing very rapid growth, most recently way above 30% growth of sales for E.L.F.
Linda, how unusual is that to see that kind of movement within the massive beauty industry that has a lot of sort of entrenched players?
It's actually really unusual to see the rapid rise of a brand the way E.L.F. has risen in recent years. So the entrenched top player in mass is L'Oreal with their L'Oreal and Maybelline global brands. And for a long time, you know, you had Revlon up there, CoverGirl up there, and now E.L.F. has surpassed. So it's highly unusual, but they're gunning for number 1. They want to be number 1 in the U.S. mass color cosmetics market.
And Linda, I got to bring in kind of the skincare part of our conversation when we talk about beauty. That's been a growing segment of the industry. So who would you say are the winners in that space when we're talking about penetration here in the U.S. and in China?
Yeah, absolutely. Skincare is a bigger percentage of the market in Asia and in China. Asian women really care about their skincare routines. And so there again, Estee Lauder has very good positioning with their Estee Lauder brand, with their Crème de la Mer brand. Coty is increasingly working at penetrating the Chinese market, and they've recently launched their Lancaster brand, which is based in Monaco, and that is going to be an anti-aging brand for the Asian market. And E.L.F. in the mass beauty market also has skincare, and so that's a much smaller piece of their business, but that's growing rapidly for them.
Linda, talk to us about the role that social media and especially TikTok is playing in the beauty industry now, right? Because I know that E.L.F. in particular has kind of, I don't know about conquered, but has a big presence, right, on those social media channels.
Sure. Really, social media is incredibly important in driving the relevance of beauty brands. But the brands are very nimble, so they use many different platforms, and they are very strategic in how they move their presence from one platform to another. And so I wouldn't say that any company has any, outsized risk, in terms of their exposure to TikTok. But certainly TikTok, Instagram, these are all platforms that really all of the beauty brands utilize.
So Linda, they all utilize them. Do you think going forward they need to maintain that presence there, especially if you start to see some of the, let's say if we do head into any economic pullback later in this year, do you expect us to continue to see that focus on social media and the brands having a big presence there?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the key to long-term success in any kind of beauty branding business is to continue to invest in your brand even in downturns. And Estee Lauder is really well known for that. They continue to invest heavily. E.L.F. Beauty, for example, has been increasing their marketing spend, and it's risen to 18% of revenue, even higher. And I expect even in a downturn that brands will continue to invest heavily behind their brands.
Well, and I want to pick up on that downturn a little bit. One of the younger producers who's a TikTok native, unlike myself, pointed out that not only are these brands advertising, but E.L.F. in particular makes sort of less expensive knockoffs, for lack of a better word, of some of the more expensive brands. So is it poised then to benefit in particular as we start to see the economy weaken?
Yes, certainly. As a mass brand, E.L.F. is much more affordable and the products are high quality. And so you might pay $10 for an E.L.F. product versus $30 or $40 for a similar prestige product. So yes, there could be some trading down. However, Coty, which is involved in both mass and prestige cosmetics, has said that they have seen no specific trading down behavior trends really in consumer beauty at this point. So right now, really, prestige and mass are both growing very nicely in terms of the beauty sector holding up fairly well.
Interesting stuff. Linda, thank you. Good to see you. Linda Bolton Weiser is D.A. Davidson and Company Managing Director and Senior Analyst of Health and Beauty. Thank you.